Howdy folks, Cal Kellogg here. I'm holding the football. Why do I have a football? Well, fall is right around the corner. Football season's underway. This football actually belongs to Lucy. I'll toss it over there for her. But football season's underway and our lakes are in the midst of their fall transition. Just starting, but our Kokanee lakes are changing, our trout lakes are changing. So let's take a look at trout and kokanee fishing around Northern California. This is our trout and kokanee fishing report for this week. So some lakes that had been producing very good results on kokanee continue to boot out kokanee, but you are seeing the fish starting to turn red. You're seeing the hook jaws. They're losing their scales at places like New Maloney's, Stampede Reservoir. It's all but over there. A couple places, the bite is still going pretty good. Whiskeytown, you're starting to see some hooked up fish, but there are more chrome fish there than say at Stampede or at Maloney's, and there's some very large kokanee on tap up there. I heard of one 19-incher, I heard of a 20-incher. There's lots of 16 to 17-inch fish coming out of Whiskeytown Reservoir. At Lake Tahoe, the bite is still strong. Those fish are still chrome bright, they're beautiful, they're not as big. 13 to 14 inches is a nice fish, 11 to 12 inches is kind of the average fish over there, but they are biting at the south end of the lake. You can take your own boat up there, or you could jump on with the folks from Tahoe Sport Fishing for a half-day trip, and you're pretty much going to get limits of kokanee every single day that they go out and target those fish. And they're great eating. I mean, Tahoe, it's a ultimate pure water lake, so they're beautiful fish. And catching salmon on Lake Tahoe, it is an awesome experience. So moving on though, we are on the verge of fall trout fishing. Things are starting to get very exciting. At Lake Davis, the fish are still deep, but they're starting to see 3 and 4 and 5 pound rainbows showing up. When that lake turns over, when we get some cold nights, those fish are going to move right up on the surface, and it's going to be very exciting. Same thing can be said of Eagle Lake. The deep water trolling, 30 feet deep, but deep water trolling at Eagle Lake is going very well. The nights are dropping down into the 40s there. When we start seeing nighttime temperatures up at that high desert lake getting into the 30s, you're going to see those fish move up to the surface. It happens very quick. And when they move up to the surface, there is going to be some very exciting fishing on tap. And then it's just going to get better and better and better from there as those fish start to suck into the shoreline. The fly guys are going to start to prosper. The shallow water trollers are going to start to do very well. But the guys, come November, the guys that beach their boats, get out, wade the shallows, and throw different kinds of flies, they are just going to put a whipping on fish there up to 6, maybe 7 pounds this year. They've been getting bigger every fall. Last year, top fish were in the 6 pound range, so we might see a 7 pounder up at Eagle Lake this year. So that fishery is back. It's not back all the way, but it is back, a long way from where it was 2 or 3 years ago. So we got that to look forward to. Elminor has been very consistent all summer, but again, we're going to get those cold nights. We're getting the shorter days. We're going to see those fish moving up to the top. At Elminor, they're going to be feeding on pond smelt. We're going to be able to pull rapalas, pull spoons, pull the fast stuff, and pop fish in the top 25-foot range. Right on up to the surface in late October, November, those fish are going to be right on the surface of the lake. And those rainbows are big, and so are the browns. A 10-pound brown up there is always possible. Rainbows in the 5 to 6 pound class are pretty darn common at Lake Elminor. So that's very exciting. And this is going to trickle right on down through all the Sierra lakes, Frenchman's Lake, French Meadows, all those lakes. Just as they start to turn over, the trout are going to move to the surface because it's going to happen first in the high mountains. But then come November, we're going to see that transition hit the foothill lakes, places like New Maloney's. We're going to see big rainbows on top. Don Pedro, Collins Lake. I mean, that's an absolute trout factory in the month of November. You're going to get planted trout, and you're also going to get the holdovers coming up to the surface. They're going to be feeding on shad there. We're going to start seeing big scores at Amador just as soon as they start stocking. Their hatchery program's going well. They got a bunch of big fish to put in the lake. As soon as they get the proper surface temperature, they're going to start dumping fish in there, and guys are going to start catching some really nice cut bows, rainbows, lightning trout, all that kind of stuff. So the outlook for kokanee fishing, it's on the backside, guys. So, next spring it's next spring. That's when it's going to get going again. There are still some options if you want to get out there and get your kokanee on. But trout fishing, sky's the limit right now. Things are starting to change. I can feel it right now. I got cloud cover. I got a little bit of breeze. It's been much cooler here in the Sierra foothills in the evening. I think we're going to get some more hot weather. We always do, but that transition is starting, and there are some great days ahead for trout fishermen, particularly guys that want to go out there and catch some big rainbows, some big holdovers, and there'll be browns in the mix too. So I can't wait. You know me, I'm a trout guy at heart, and that's kind of our trout roundup. We've got some great days ahead. Fishing's good now, but it's going to be excellent. And heck, what do we got? We've got all of October, all of November, part of December to look forward to, and we're going to get that little bit of a winter slowdown. But yeah, the good days are yet to come, so get ready, get your gear ready. If you haven't checked out my online store yet, check out the Fish Hunt Shoot store. It is jam-packed with trout gear. We got a lot of stuff you need for this fall, including our grub kits, which are being very well received. Man, I've developed a set of big fish grubs, and they're just what the doctor ordered for, you know, lakes like Frenchman's, Eagle Lake, maybe even Lake Davis. Anyhow, I'm Kel Kellogg. I'm signing off. Thanks for supporting the channel, guys. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have a Fish Hunt Shoot YouTube channel, and I'll catch you next time right here on YouTube. Have a great day, guys.